What was
Yeah.
so show me unlocking my Mokis again, or send me the link.
Okay.
Like maybe I'll do it right
Yeah.
now.
Now we're talking about earning, right? So there's multiple ways to earn in Grand Arena. Let's talk about if you own a Moki. If you own a Moki, number one needs to be locked as a prerequisite. But when Grand Arena drops, these Mokis are going to be playing in matches 24/7. Whenever your Moki's team wins, you will earn on that match. So the better you train your Moki, the more thought you're putting into a strategy around it, the better earnings that you're going to have as a Moki owner, right? So every time they win, you win. Fantastic. Everything accrues to the Moki. You could withdraw right from the Moki. You could also trade a Moki that has earnings attached to it, right? So there's some stuff going on there and some strategy on the marketplace. Number two is from royalties. Mokis are going to be used on cards, right? So if your Moki appears in a card pack, you're going to be getting direct royalties on chain from each of those card packs being sold. So Banana Mog gets in as a champion. Every single time a pack is sold, a little split off of that pack is going to go to Banana Mog Moki, right? So
guys, everyone buy my card.
Yeah. Right. Well, that's the third thing.
I'm literally gonna be shooting this nonstop.
Yeah. Card royalties.
I'm in the process of making so I have 27 unemployed Mokis.
Yeah. Get them a job, dude.
I'm in the process of winning. All right. I'm in the process of making them.
So that's the third thing.
I'm gonna tell people so here. So go to tamabell.tama.meme.
Yeah. They have to go to work at Tama Bell.
So prepare for Grand Arena. Step one, go here. And then 2, select your unemployed Mokis. Send them to work at Tama Bell. Perfect. And then they're earning tacos or what?
Well, right now they're going to work, and then we're gonna flip it as they're pumping iron for Grand Arena. So that'll be right after this contest concludes. The third way is secondary card royalties. So every single time, thank you, Jihoz, for the marketplace. OpenSea we're working with right now to fix some of their backend issues. But we have a per card royalty splitter. So when Banana Mog Moki gets sold on secondary on the Ronin marketplace, part of that trading fee automatically accrues to the Banana Mog Moki owner, right? So this is now on testnet and is working for every single card in the collection. So Jiho owns Banana Mog Moki. Somebody cracks it in a pack. Jiho gets a little split of that pack revenue. Then that person goes and trades that card. Jiho's gets another cut of the secondary trade on that forever. It's on chain, and that payment splitter, which is awesome, can be extended to anything we do, whether it's merchandise, whether it's additional collections. That payment splitter is now live on testnet. So. Those are essentially the 3 ways that you're going to be able to earn outside of the end of season rewards that accumulate for participating in all parts of the ecosystem. We're gonna have a point system for that. So
I think it's really cool that depending on how the person wants to be active, maybe they just want to hold a ton of Mokis and be part of the pack experience and trading in packs and being that side of things. If they want to be active and actually winning in the Grand Arena, they're also going to be able to do that. You're going to have people that are kind of triple dipping, right? If they're winning in the Grand Arena, their card is popular, it's getting traded, and all of this stuff is happening. At the end of a season or whatever like that, they will be collecting from 3 different sources, right? Their Mokis are getting the royalties and stuff like that. It's very, very cool that there's so many different options for so many different types of players and spectators and stuff like that. So I think that's really cool to be able to just offer that to the wide spectrum of the way people play games nowadays with a very low time-consuming way of doing it.
Well, I stole all of this from Jiho. Like I stole all of this from you, man. One of the key parts of that made Axie what it was the ability for people to run the economy, right? And like you giving people the tools, and like the game was almost a backdrop for other meta games that were happening. Like Axie was fun, but you know what was more fun? Breeding and running a guild and speculating on what was going to be good. And then like the execution of that happened in the game client, but the game client was almost like the backdrop for the economy to have reason to exist. And that's sort of what we're trying to do in Grand Arena. Like the game, without the game client, breeding is, crypto kitties, right?
Yeah,
With
that was
the
was the idea, right? It's like going back. I was thinking about this, right? Because we're also, figuring out next meta games that we basically want to try on Ronin. We're thinking about, right, like the creation process for Axie was actually, right, us being CryptoKitties players and realizing, right, that there's no point in breeding if there's no, right, actual reason for people to want the cats. Therefore, right, it's like if you created a game that would be able to basically have some at least baseline utility for the NFT assets, right? That people would wanna play. Then boom, then you're cooking. And then it was like, okay, people are not as interested in NFTs, but there's a way of basically making the in-game rewards tokenized, right? And then some people actually tried tokenizing in-game rewards as NFTs. We got the idea from Travala, right? So I don't think I've ever told this story, but there was basically a Travala token, right? And people were interested in it. We're like, why the fuck are people interested in a travel company? That sounds really boring. Must be because they have a token. So then we're like, okay, like maybe you can make something. Maybe people are interested in tokens. Basically that's kind of where we got the idea for, right, making it so that you could earn tokenized rewards with your Axies, but instead of making those NFTs like the earlier crypto games, making them also ERC20s. So now it's like, okay, you have these Mokis, you're able to kind of run this business metagame of running like a Moki sports team, right? And then you're able to and then people are able to speculate on that. That creates more demand, right, for the different cards because they're kind of like it's like fandom around the different Mokis, right?
Yes.
And then there's revenue sharing.
And performance, right? Because getting Banana Mog Moki, if Banana Mog Moki delivers, 6 Gasha balls, gets 2 kills over a match, like that could be the difference between somebody being in the money or out of the money on a fantasy contest, right? So then they go, holy shit, I just won, $1,500 today on a daily fantasy contest, and it was because of Jihoz Moki. That's my new fucking favorite Moki, right? It's like when you get the points over on a player in the NBA, you're like, oh, that's my new guy, right? So I think a lot of this is pretty circular and interconnected. So, and then when they can start talking, you can start interacting with them, which is way different than anybody.
I'm gonna be talking to my Moki. Bro, I feel like the banana mogger is gonna be bullying me, dude.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, he might be bullying everyone. He might be a winner. Like he might be out here. But I think it's really cool how many different aspects there is going to be of this. Like where maybe some people are only going to be interested in the cards, and like we know people love Gamba. Like people are going to be opening card packs, hoping to pull these like super rare cards and stuff like that are going to be like sought after and stuff like that. And then you're going to have other people that are just grinding out the game itself, and then there's other people that are just spectating. So I think it's just going to be exciting to see what small sub communities form around all of these aspects of the game. Just like it has happened in Axie and stuff like that, right? Like there's like whole guild system in Axie. Like there's other people that are just breeding. There's other people that play it for the bounty board and stuff. There's lots of different ways to play and partake. So I'm just excited to see how that forms here with Grand Arena.
We need to have some sort of points farming, bros.
Oh, we do. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Let's talk about it. So
Let's talk about this. How can I farm points? Because people love points, right? Like
Yeah.
it's like
So-
another, right? Like sometimes you have to be very like basic in your thinking, right? It's like, oh, where did the idea of play to earn come from? It's like people like tokens, right? Now it's like there's a meta of people like points, right?
points.
Therefore,
For
how can we
tokens.
integrate that?
Yeah.
Yes. It's actually a
So-
good strategy, right? Because I mean, it's yeah, there's an art to it.
So there's 3 places where funds go whenever somebody spends money into the ecosystem. One is to the Moku treasury to help us keep this thing going. 2 is to Moki holders for performance, for royalties, etc. We went over those. The third is the end of season pot, right? And some of that will come from the ecosystem, but a lot of that will come straight from pack sales or contest entries. So we're going to be building up this pot. You've seen similar things with like Cammyyy of like big number go up over time. But that season
the Cammyyy
reward
model
pool-
is a good model, right? The Cammyyy kind of I think like the important thing about Cammyyy is one, Cammyyy is a great thing on Ronin. 2, Cammyyy shows us this interesting, right, mechanism of basically, right, like having some kind of risk to earn, play to earn that's also relatively kind of sustainable, if that makes sense, right?
Right. Absolutely. Right. So that end of season pot is going to be distributed to people who are accumulating this point system throughout the season. Right. So whether that's cracking packs and collecting, whether that's playing in Grand Arena fantasy contests, whether it's training your Moki and having them win in the arena, all of these different activities contribute to your points total and then gives you access to that end of season reward, right? So right now, we're season number 1 will have a point system that gives value to all of those things. So we're really trying to, if you're doing everything, that's awesome. You're going to get more points. If you're just contributing in one part, you're still going to win out on that. And it's really cool because like, imagine you do a daily fantasy contest where you do an entry fee with an instant payout on it in token. That's awesome. But win or lose, you're also accruing points towards the end of the season rewards. So it almost feels like a double dip in the sense of you have the opportunity for that immediate like payout and dopamine of like winning a contest that day. But you're always accruing towards this end of season.
What is my daily routine as a owner of 28 Mokis, soon to be more? What is my daily routine as an owner, right? And how long does this take? So for example, I'm exploring a lot of these kind of whale loops, right? Like, right, because it's like, what does a collector or someone who's kind of like someone who's got some free capital to spend, let's say Ron and ETH are going up, right, and I'm interested in kind of deploying some of my capital, right, for both fun and also to earn some points, earn some reputation, have some fun, maybe risk. What am I doing like on a daily basis?
Well,
so maybe let me try to reverse engineer it. So I'm checking how my team is doing. So I'm reviewing like what they've accomplished, right? So it's kind of like, okay, I'm a Mets fan. We're actually both Mets fans, right? So
I know. Let's go Mets.
So right, like I check how the team is doing. I see, right, like if there are any optimizations that I would make, right? So as a fan, I'm like, I'm checking the lineup. I'm checking who's done what. And then I'm like thinking about like, are there any optimizations to the lineup that I could be making? Are there any differences in the training that needs to happen?
So there's going to be multiple classes for this first game that you'll be able to spec into, and then within those classes, there's different attributes that you can tweak up and down, right? And attributes are their number is neither good nor bad. It just depends on how you want them to play. For example, like maybe you want somebody that's faster at carrying the gacha balls to the basket. But in doing so, you likely make them worse at being a warrior or riding ward. So based on how the meta is going, how other people are training their Mokis, you're constantly adjusting to sort of find the edge in performance that other people aren't exploring, right? And then doing that, like you can spec your whole team for the meta. You can diversify your Mokis, and then you put them out there. Probably before you're checking on stuff, you're probably redeeming all of the, the token, the soft currency that they're earning, so you can go reinvest it back into training. So you're definitely looking at the meta, looking at the performance metrics, and then tweaking knobs up and down is going to be a big part of on how they do it. Yeah, Trevor, I saw the fucking thing, and Trevor, I almost had to delete him from the chat, but then I realized he's a good guy.
You're not allowed.
Myself.
You're not allowed here anymore.
Yeah, I had the mod power to do it though, so then I was like, nah, I like Trevor, I won't do it. But yeah, that's so it's at its heart, it's an idle strategy game, right? Like you're accumulating resources, you're applying those things to make them better and train them over time. Their performance is like, it's definitely going up in training. Sometimes there's a little bit of unevenness because we are using AI and ML.
This is sick.